Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Am I too loud? Am I too soft? I gotta work on the placement of this character. Welcome, one and all, to today's cooking show. Name's Joris. Joris Yazira. Or, as a friend of mine affectionately calls me, Chef. And you today are about to see why. So I'm pretty sure I can tell you. I'm pretty much sure I can easily guess that most of us are anime fans, aren't we? Oh, you can hear me just fine? Ooh, perfect. Am I not too loud? Is my voice not groggy? Alright. So, any of you seen anime, you've always noticed that they had this particular type of cake with a yellow. The cake itself is yellow, a white creamy frosting, and strawberry. I'm going to show you how to actually make that in real life. So, let's get this thing started. So, as you can see in front of me, I have these set of ingredients. We have cake flour, we have vanilla, we have sugar, we have baking powder. I kind of need the baking powder for this, and I'll explain why. We have eggs, and what you can't see on the side is that on the right, what looks like a pan on there is a bain marie. Now, a bain marie, if any of you have ever made cheesecake, is basically a water bath that you set up to give a cake a more moist softness to it. And on the left, we have butter and milk. And you're going to need that too. So, the first thing we are all going to want to do is melt the butter and milk. So, as you can see, I got my butter right here. Now I'm going to go melt it. Now, quickest way is obviously putting it in the microwave. I think you can kind of see me on the reflection, but wait a minute, what the hell? Hang on a second. Please don't fuck up on me. Please don't fuck up on me. Oh, no. You're seeing that too, aren't you? Let me hang on a second. Oh, it looks like this is where... No! Oh, great. So apparently, I think this video might have had a little flickering issue. Let me see how far this goes. Great. This is where it stops? Must be the footage. Okay, I'm gonna play with it. I'm gonna play with it. So, the next thing we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to sift the cake flour. We're gonna just need a cup of cake flour. And then you want to sift that through a fine mesh. I can't tell if it's my footage got corrupted because it played back pretty easily and it worked fine. What the hell happened? Probably gonna have to stop a lot just to stop people from getting seizures, but right now I'm just sifting the flour using a spatula. I'm just gonna have to speed through this just to keep people from getting seizure. So this is what it's supposed to look like after it's sifted. It's gonna be nice and fine. There's no clumps. Now the thing is, you don't want any clumps when it comes to cake. Have you ever had a pancake and you just get that weird mixture of batter? Not even mixture of batter. It's like you bite down on a pancake, you just taste flour. That's why you want to sift it. Ah, great. This is just great. Probably giving my own people seizures doing this. Alright. But the next thing we gotta do is we gotta add the baking powder. Now, truthfully, the recipe is a meringue base, so you're actually supposed to let the egg whites themselves rise. But I don't know if it's like the altitude of where I live, or if it's like the oven itself. but my cake has not been able to rise. So to fix that, I added a half teaspoon of baking powder. Now you want to sift that one too, just so you can avoid any of the clumps that might come from that. Now, have you ever actually had a sponge cake before and you question one thing? How does it feel so soft and so airy? If you had like a normal cake, you can kind of taste and you can even feel the difference when it comes to the cake. But the thing is that the majority of the cake, especially the sponge cake, comes from egg whites, not really from the flour. That's why there's so little flour in this. So for this one, I had to use about 5 eggs. But the trick behind doing this one is not that you're mixing the eggs together. No, you're going to do something that a lot of people consider time consuming or really hard to do. You're going to separate the egg whites from the egg yolks. The cake was about 4 inches because you got to cut it in half. It's not really that big of a cake, but it's more of a personal cheesecake, not cheesecake, a personal Japanese strawberry sponge cake. Like if you were to say make it for a loved one, a friend of yours, a loved one, a crush of yours, someone you're just trying to impress. So other than this looking wonky, the way you got to do this, you get 3 bowls, and this is important to do 3 bowls for a reason. You're going to crack the egg over one of the bowls, and this is going to be your catcher bowl. And there's a reason. You see, when it comes to sponge cake or any meringue, you do not want any yolk in the egg whites. Period. If even so much as a drop of the yolk gets in there, the whole thing's done. So you have to do it over 3 bowls, so in case something does break, and remember, egg yolks do break pretty easily, you at least don't have to throw away the entire mixture. That's why I have it over 3 bowls. Now, as you can see, with the still I got right now, I have the eggshells cut in half. Now, I'm doing what we call the back and forth method, where you're actually using the eggshells themselves to move the egg yolk back and forth while the egg whites fall in the bowl underneath. So as you can see, I have it right now. And then I pour it over, and the egg yolk stays in the shell while the egg white falls into the bowl underneath. Now you want to do this a few times until it's literally nothing but the egg yolk itself. And after that, you put that in a separate bowl, like this one I have over here. And then you put the egg whites in the other bowl. So, I'm about to do this again. Crack an egg. Break the egg apart. Egg yolk stays in the shell. Just the entire thing fell over. So this is why you want it in a separate bowl. Because getting it back in the eggshell or even trying to hold it makes it easily break apart. So now I can just move this bowl on the side and not have to start over by wasting an egg. This is me trying to do it and failing. That's why you don't want to do that. So I wash the bowl out, put it in another container because I can still use the egg, and then I'll try again. So we take another egg, we crack it open, we let the egg white fall, but we keep the egg yolk in the shell. You want to avoid any shells in, so scoop them out as soon as you can. Now, if you want to, you can actually use your hand as a way to separate it. By pouring the whole entire egg in between your fingers, the egg white will slip between your fingers and the egg yolk will stay on top. As long as you keep the egg yolk from breaking, this is also a viable method if you don't want to do the eggshell. The eggshell, to me, is just easier, but choose what you feel more comfortable doing. So we pour the egg white in there. We crack the egg open. Egg white starts falling out of the shell. A lot of it falls out of the shell. So then we do the shell method. Scoop it back and forth. And let it go back and forth. Let's see what the hell happened to this video after the stream. But now that that's done, so then I'll skip ahead a bit more because it's going to be more the same. And this is what you want. 5 worths of egg whites and 5 worths of egg yolk. Please don't let the rest of this be mess. Please don't let the rest of this be a mess. Oh, thank God. All right. So right now we have here a bowl of the egg yolks. This is another reason you want to separate it. You're not getting rid of the egg yolks because the egg yolks themselves contain the protein. But you want to add sugar to it. So for here, I add a half cup of sugar. Granulated, by the way. And this is going for the egg yolks themselves. So I take my whisk and I slowly add in sugar by batches. So this is the first batch, and I constantly whisk it in. What you want to do is you want it to get into more like a pale white in a bit of a smooth form. You want it to be able to form a ribbon when you use your whisk. Basically, when you move your whisk around, you want it to be able to take the form, but it would still go back to normal after a bit. So you want to whisk this in thoroughly. Now, it's actually easier if you put this over a double boiler. But since most of us don't have a double boiler, a trick you could do is you grab a metal bowl and put it over some hot water. But you want to be able to control the heat of that one, because you don't want to cook the eggs and you get scrambled eggs, obviously. So as you can see, I am whisking it in. Then I add in a teaspoon of vanilla. And then I whisk that in thoroughly. You want to be able to do that because this is where not only the protein of the cake coming in, but this is where a bunch of the flavors coming in. So as I whisk it in thoroughly, try to get it nice and smooth on the inside. And some thorough whisking. As you can see, the ribbon is forming just by me moving the whisk around. You can see that it was slowly having trouble moving. So after this, we add in our flour mixture, the cake flour and the baking powder. But we only do half in the beginning, and then we fold it in thoroughly. When I say fold it in thoroughly, it has to make sure that all the flour is incorporated into the egg yolk mixture. Might be a little tricky to do, but you just gotta be patient and be able to fold it in. There we go. And then we add our butter and milk mixture to not only add more moisture, but to also add in more flavor with, well, the butter and the milk. And then we add the rest of our flour mixture. You want to make sure you get as much of it out as possible. In fact, you want all of it in there. Because baking itself is very precise. Like, the best recipes don't use cups, they don't use teaspoons, they use grams and milligrams. Because you're mostly supposed to weigh out the stuff. So then you fold in the rest of the flour in with the egg yolk mixture. Pour in the rest of the butter mixture. And there we go. It's going nice and folded. There we go. As you can see, while I get the rest of the flour in. That's how it's supposed to look. Any questions so far? Feel free to ask me any question if you have any questions so far. No questions? Need some water or something. So, continuing on. Here you can see that these are the egg whites. Now, there is a reason we want to separate them. For you see, we are going to aerate these egg whites. What does that mean? Well, we are going to take an electric mixer and beat it to hell and let the air in, basically triple the amount of volume that's in this. So the first thing we want to get it is nice and frothy. As you can see, we want it to look like this in the start. After that, we start in adding sugar in 3 batches. Now for this, you're gonna want a 1/4 cup of sugar. Sorry, I almost messed that one up myself. So then we add them in 3 batches to fully incorporate the granulated sugar into the egg whites. And after we manage to incorporate that, we are going to beat the egg whites until either soft or hard peak. Now, if you don't know what soft or hard peak means, basically if I pull this mixer up and I flip it around, the curl that usually happens at the end will either stay in place or will slowly curl inward. Now for this, I want to do a bit of a medium to hard peak. So as you can see, the egg whites themselves volume has started growing. The air has tripled the volume of the egg whites, and it now no longer has that pale look, but rather a clear white look. And boom. I'm gonna add a bit more speed to it. It should not take that long. Aerating does not take that long. But this is where a lot of the volume is coming from your cake. It's also how you can make a nice and fluffy cake. Like, have you ever had a meringue cookie or anything like that? This is what I mean by peak. As you can see, the curl's still staying, but is folding inward. But it's not sliding right off of my thing. I mean, my mixer. I sound like the rest of my family by saying thing instead of the exact thing. I gotta stop saying that. But as you can see, we currently have it at a like soft to medium peak. Now this is fine for me actually. Any questions so far, everybody? No questions? All right. So now we incorporate half of our mixture in so far by folding in half of our egg whites with our egg yolks. And try to fully incorporate this in. And then we take the rest of our egg whites and then we fold it in. You want to try and fully incorporate it inward so it don't look like this jumbled up mess so far. So you can see, folding it in, getting all the sides so I don't miss anything. And boom, our mixture. If you guys got any more questions, now's a good time to ask. No questions? All right, moving on. So as you can see right now, I have a 9-inch cake pan and it is lined with parchment paper. And I've also sprayed the sides with non-stick spray that is unflavored to avoid adding any more unnecessary flavors to it. But you want to spray it because the cake will stick to the sides. All right. So we take the mixture and then we slowly add it in to the cake. You want to get as much of it out of that bowl as possible. Now after that, we basically slam the cake onto the counter, but there's actually a legit reason we are doing this. You see, we want to avoid any unnecessary air holes inside the middle of the cake. You don't want any like cavities in it. No, I don't mean like on your teeth. I mean empty cavities that basically is nothing but air. So we're trying to get all the air bubbles at least up to the top. So we shake and we bang and we shake and we bang. Hit the side, hit it like it owes you money, and boom. As you can see, the air bubbles are at the top now. This is good because there was going to be air bubbles anyway, but you want it to be not in the inside of the cake where the whole thing could lose its structure. So now that we got that done, next thing we got to do is cover the bottom of it. Because remember, this is going to be cooking like a cheesecake. And we're going to be putting it in a bain-marie, or a water bath, if you will. So we cover it with the bottom with aluminum foil to make sure that no water gets into the crevices. And as you can see, there's our water bath. So we slowly add it in. Give it a nice even look. And I have it at an oven set for 320 Fahrenheit. Now I want it low because we're not going to be doing a quick bake. We're going to just let it slow bake and let it rise naturally by itself. Any questions so far, everybody? Any concerns so far? Nope. All right. So for now, we are going to do the cream, or the frosting, if you will. But it's actually basically just whipped cream. So when you're homemaking whipped cream, you really just need 2 or 3 ingredients. Heavy whipping cream, powdered sugar, not granulated, powdered sugar, and vanilla for more flavor. But we really don't need vanilla for this one, so we're just going to add the heavy cream. And we are also going to add 1/4 cup of powdered sugar. And then we basically just aerate it the same like we do with the egg whites until it gets soft peak. So to do that, we are going to add the powdered sugar in by batches. So I get it in a nice form. And then we start adding the powdered sugar. Then we fully incorporate it, and then we add in some more of the powdered sugar. And by that, you can pretty much just add the rest of it in there. Boom. Hey, Koi, how you doing? Kind of missed a good chunk of the cooking stream, but how you been? I think I've been showing the final product all over the place. I'm just showing the process at this point. Oh, good. That's good. So now we are using an actual piping bag for this one because I can't do the Ziploc trick like I did last time. I'm glad to hear you good. So now we are going to cut the cake in half. You're going to want a serrated knife like I have, but you want to hold it down to keep it from breaking apart. Now, mine will actually break apart a bit, but we're going to cover it with the cream, so don't feel bad if it kind of breaks like that when you're holding it. I know that might seem like you're wasting something, but don't feel bad. At the very least, you might want to get a spatula just to move it easier. Don't worry about that crack there either. Since you're usually going to have it like plated, you won't have to worry about it. So, any questions so far, everybody? Any questions? Any concerns? Alright, good. So now we're going to add a bit of the cream into the middle of the cake. Spread it out with a rubber spatula. You don't really need that much cream, but you want to cover the bottom of the middle of the cake. Now I'm actually using a cake decorating table that moves just to make it easier to decorate. As you can see it by spinning around. So next we add our strawberries. Oh, thanks. But wait till you see it's done. You're going to want a lot of the strawberries sliced, and those sliced ones are going to be in the middle, and I have half ones for display reasons. You'll see why. So next we add our sliced strawberries into the middle of the cake. We're going to want to even it out. Make sure that there will be an equal amount of strawberries when someone slices into it. So I'm spreading them out right now. So now we add the rest of the strawberries, and then afterwards we are going to add a bit more of the cream on top. There, all we got left is the half strawberries, so we add a bit of the cream on top, and then we spread it over top of the strawberries themselves. Now that we got that covered, we take the other half, the top half, and then we place it firmly on top of the cake. So this is where we take the rest of the cream and we use it to decorate. As you can see, I am using the whipped cream itself as the frosting. When it gets cold, it's going to keep its shape, and it's going to make a nice, delicious taste when you bite down. So you want to spread out the whipped cream to avoid seeing any part of the cake itself. You're basically using this as like makeup. I'm using a pie server to also help smooth it out. So we add a bit more of the whipped cream. Try and get all the sides. You can see I'm trying to get all the sides on it. You even get that little spot over there I might have missed. Looks like I'm doing a little bit of construction on there. Give it a nice smooth look to it. Nice and smooth. Add in some more of that. And now we take our decorating bag, and I have a start tip on the thing, and you're about to see why. So I just place the start tip on the bottom, and then we start getting these little mounds. Well, they were meant to look like flowers, but really wasn't that good of a start tip. Plus, I think the cream was starting to melt. So now we got little mounds on the bottom. And we are going to place our half strawberries on there. So now that we got our little mounds, we add a bit more cream, and then we try to like make it look pretty. Boom. So now we add our half strawberries. Place it on each mound. Try to give it a nice even look to it. And boom. Voila, there is our cake. Any questions? No questions? Well, I hope you all enjoyed that. Not gonna lie, it seems a little hard to end a stream before it's even been an hour. But that was the cooking stream. If you guys have any more questions or concern, feel free to ask. I'm always open to talk. No questions? No concerns. I don't want to end the stream in less than an hour. Anyone that's still here, how would you guys feel about playing a bit of Smash or something with me? You know, just have a little fun for you guys. Anyone object to that? Nope. Alright. I'll put on an arena. A little cake and a little smash is always good for the body. Hang on, I think we got like an audio delay. I think we got it working. Alright, there we go. Oh, let me set it. There we go. Maybe I should have put on some Holocure. At least I'll be having more fun with that. Maybe somebody would come. Just make things nice and quiet, nice and quiet. Ooh, a Kazuya battle. This is gonna be fun.
Three, two, 1, go!
nice grab. Nice punish. Oh shit! Oh, that was a good punish. Why'd I stop that? Why'd I stop that? You can come back from that. Oh boy, if I can't at least get a one stock off of him. Oh, why'd I do that? Up, dead. Dead. Yeah, dead.
Kazuya Mishima wins.
Oh, that was a bit fun. Uh, I am not gonna lie, I should not have gotten back from that. Dead. Ooh. Oh, nice punish. Oh, nice, nice. Alright. Why'd I do that? Why'd I do that?
Kazuya Mishima wins.
I think he must be sick of playing. Yeah, I think he just got sick of playing. Leon, who are you playing? We got. Oh, Ganondorf. I want to do that. Yeah, no. I know he's gonna do that. I hate that that move is so good. Alright. Oh shit, I was too low. I was too low. Shit. Ah, shit. Again, too low. I do. Ooh. Oh, why did I stay there? Alright, I'm bad. Let's see what you got. A villager. Just working around something. Forgetting about that tree. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-da-da-da. Maybe I should add a little more matches. Dude! So you're not gonna do the... Man. I gotta remember what move has armor. And what move's just a straight move like that. Shit, can't come back from that. Oh boy. Okay, I lost. Oh, he left. Shit. That was about an hour. I think later today I'll stream another game. Something around 6 or so. So maybe an hour. I gotta actually cook some dinner anyway. But I'm glad you all came around just to see the cake. Hope you enjoyed. And I will be posting the recipe up if you would like. Thank you and goodbye.